My nuts. Back to it.
Wow. So, wow. That was one hell of a way to kick off season 7. We've went for the full out approach. Last season they went all out action to start off season 6. This year they were basically like, you know what? We're not gonna go action packed, or it wouldn't make a lot of sense coming off season 6. But this is by far probably one of the most psychologically engrossing episodes. I talked about in the past that certain times, despite being a huge fan, Walking Dead seems to lose focus at times, gets bogged down in dialogue that could sometimes be meaningless, or certain episodes feel like they're not really taking advantage of their whole, hour long running time. This is not the case with this episode. This is an episode where they establish Negan, who is going to be our villain, and boy, is this guy fucking sadistic. And they let you know it. Many people were already in awe of Negan based on his performance in the last 20 minutes of the season finale of season 6. If you thought that was something, you got to see this episode. This is an episode that is going to cement Negan as probably one of the most hated, one of the most popular, and one of the most downright diabolical villains, not just in Walking Dead, but in any series. He took the lives of two massive main characters, Abraham and then shockingly Glenn. It was, to say the least, Glenn, I didn't think it was going to happen. And it was almost like they were trolling us. Because most people were saying that it was going to be Glenn. It was going to be Glenn. And I was one of the people that was saying, it's not going to be Glenn. When I was at Comic-Con with my friends, we were discussing it, and, they were saying, oh, it might be Glenn, it might be Glenn. So, well, Glenn's going to be too obvious. And they already did a fake out moment during season 6 of Glenn. Is he alive or is he dead? And the thing was, I knew that he was alive, and they kept teasing it. And, I knew that he was alive. I know that they were doing some cinematography that was meant to fool the viewer. And then they turned around, and after Abraham's death, like a mere 5 minutes later, they take the life of Glenn. And these aren't just normal deaths that we're used to seeing at the hands of, walkers, or, or even Shane's death. This is a death that, these are two deaths that you really feel something. And this is probably one of the most graphic episodes. The beating that Negan administers with his signature baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire, Lucille. He beats them until they're nothing but a bloody mess, stump, until they don't even have a head left. And to see Glenn choke out his last few words, he's been pounded as hard as Negan could probably smash him in the head with the bat, with Lucille, with one eye popped out, choking out to Maggie that he will find her, and then he just proceeds to just obliterate his fucking head right off of his shoulders. I could clearly say I've never seen anything like that, even in a horror movie, and just, you know, of course they don't show the whole thing, but you see the results. I mean, this was just, it was brutal. It was graphic. I was seeing people on social media that were saying they're never going to watch this episode again. It was too brutal for them. People were getting emotional. People were crying, and I might have not outright cried, but I had tears in my eyes, literally. I mean, when you watch a show for this long, and you've seen characters like Abraham, and especially Glenn, who's been there for season one, to see a character from season one die the way he did all the way in season seven. Glenn appeared in episode two. To see him die is just, it almost felt surreal. It's like, that's why I knew that he wasn't dead in season six. I knew if they were going to kill off a character of this magnitude, of this popularity, of this longevity, I didn't think that he was going to go out that way. And, well, they chose the graphic novel approach. They were going to go with it. They gave you a fake out, but then they're like, you know what? We're going to follow the graphic novel. And that's exactly what they did. To all the people who read the graphic novels and said that he's going to be worse than the governor, without a doubt, yeah, I think that's, the governor wasn't always bad. Negan is always bad. And it's not like this guy has a tortured past. I know we don't know much about him, but I think it's safe to say that this guy probably just doesn't have a tortured past. He's just a fucking maniac. This was just an incredible episode. And if you want to know what the rest of the episode is about, I mean, just fucking watch it. There's a point where Negan, to prove that Rick is completely under his control and will do whatever he says, he actually makes the man cut off Carl's arm. Now, he doesn't end up doing it, but it's a way of proving loyalty. And this whole episode is just fucking sick and sadistic, and it's great. And like I said, it's probably one of the most psychologically stimulating episodes that we'll probably ever see in the whole length of the show. Now, I know I've said that about episodes in the past, but this was an episode that really blew a lot of people away. And this is an episode where there was a lot of shock. And it was probably one of the greatest cliffhangers I think any show has ever done. At the end of season 6, who died? I mean, you left so much conversation open. Even conversations that I had where it's like just theorizing on who we thought that Negan was going to kill. Little did we know that he was going to take the lives of not just one, but two major characters. Amazing episode, guys. If you haven't seen it, well, I hope you've seen it. If you're watching this, because I've just spoiled the whole damn thing for you. All right, guys. See you for episode 2.